So,
tell me first, why are we here?
So we are here. Hello, everyone. I'm Merja. You probably have met me once or twice before. This is Kiia, my friend, and my high-performance psychologist for my equestrian sport. So today we are here to share a session with you. So Kiia has very kindly agreed to work with me to get me back into eventing, which is my sport of choice, of course. An equestrian sport that has 3 different disciplines in it. It has dressage, show jumping, and cross-country jumping. And so Kiia, as a psychologist, is going to help me get back on the horse, so to speak.
Get to that peak performance.
Peak performance! Woo! And as you can see, while we're going to be taking this work very seriously, it is very important that we are not too serious about ourselves so that we can get there, especially when you're working with horses. Any of you who have worked with horses, you know that you can't you can't be too serious. You can't treat the horse as if the horse is an object, and you're a team with your horse. So for me personally, it's very important that we work through all of this work that we're going to be doing with a bit of fun as well as seriousness about the goals and so on. So it's good to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for working with me. And Kiia, of course, is a fellow Finn, so this is a very interesting backstory actually, because we're in Australia and of course I've been living here for nearly 6 years at this stage of this recording. And Kiia, you came, you were traveling in Australia and then you were doing this thing and that, just kind of, hanging around doing all kinds of things, looking at horses. Then you went back to Finland and then you kind of had this sense that you wanted to come back. So you went back to Finland for the summer to do some work over there. And then you want to come back here. And we needed a house sitter for a month or so. I can't even remember for how long, because we were traveling to Europe. And we happened to find you in this Finns in Sydney group, I think.
Finns in Australia.
Finns in Australia group. And because we wanted somebody to look after the dogs and look after the horses and all this kind of thing, somebody we can really trust. And Finns generally tend to be very trustworthy people. Of course, not all, but it's one of the least corrupted countries in the world, actually, which is interesting. And of course, has a very high level of education that regularly ranks very high in the world educational system kind of testing and all those things. But having put all that aside, we were able to get you to come and look after animals while we were away, and then we started talking and about your work and how you're a psychologist and how you have specific interests, obviously with horses and so on. And so when we came back, we kind of stayed friends since, and it's been amazing. And I didn't even think about working together with you because the thought was there. I just didn't know what it would look like. Yeah. I thought that because all our conversations have been so eye-opening for me and really, for me, at a level that I don't necessarily often get to have. Like mothers or fathers who stay at home with their kids, they just talk to kids all the time. It's kind of similar when you do work, where when you talk to people, you help other people. And I just was, there are different parts of my brain that are engaged when I'm talking to clients or when I'm talking with my teammates, as opposed to talking to a person about my stuff and, what's important to me, like friends. So it's, it sounds a little bit insane, but here we are. At least I'm with a psychologist. I'm sweet. But yeah, so then, I got this idea, so I was going through my own work and doing my own inner parenting and my own kind of like what I wanted to do this coming year, and then I gave you a call because I got this idea, I'm going to step back into the equestrian world, and there's stuff there that I need help with. So I immediately thought, I'm going to call Kiia, or because she's an intro, I'm going to text her to see if she wants to talk. So I texted you straight away. I still have the text in my phone. Would you be interested in doing this? So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Backstory, huh?
It's a less than 5 minutes, so we're good. So today what I'd like to do is do like an introductory session in terms of, because you're going to do a session or like a series of 5 sessions with me initially to start to get us going towards the goals and so on. And today we're kind of going to do like a foundation, like an introductory thing where we're going to look at some direction that I'm going to be going to, some goals. We're talking about some goals. And what else am I missing? Anything?
Well, basically what's happened so far.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we right now? And what do you want to happen and what needs to happen between those 2 points?
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what today is all about.
Excellent. That sounds good. Yeah. So do you want to just do your thing as you would normally do? And I'm happy to just be shrunk.
Well, mostly you'll be doing the talking anyway, because I'll just ask you questions and get you to think about
That's
this.
fair enough.
And so, we've kind of had a bit of a discussion about this previously, so I kind of know where we are, but in light of other people watching this, so just
let's do it.
So tell me about why you're going back to eventing. What sort of triggered it?
It's really interesting, and this is something that I've really observed with other people as well as I've been working with them, is that initially the trigger is so big, but then after a while you forget.
Yeah.
So because it's a couple of months since we had that initial conversation, the flavor of the trigger has kind of been lost a little bit. But the basic reason was that I realized that the thing that makes me feel free in life is to do my equestrian sports.
Yeah.
But the actual trigger, if I'm trying to think about what was the actual trigger, I can't remember anymore.
All right.
But it was very, like, it would have been around not feeling trapped, but not having the outlet for freedom.
All right. Yeah. Well, so what would your goals be, and for when would you like to attain them?
Well, it's so funny when, like, I work with a lot of coaches, as you know.
Yeah.
They always ask me, so what's your 3 and 5 year goal? And I'm always like, geez, like, give me a month. I can't think past a year. What are you talking about? But seriously, no, that, I've kind of grown out of that a good bit now. But just to give you and subsequently the people who are tuning in a little bit of backstory as well, I had really big goals before in equestrian sports. So Vesper, my then top horse, and I were aiming for, we were training to get to the 2012 Olympics in London. And Vesper was a very young horse. She's a very promising horse. I mean, I still have her, but she had an injury before getting qualifications for the World Championships for the young horses in France. And so we didn't, that was a career ending, an injury. And as a result of that, because we'd already worked 3 years to get to that point, and professionally, because not only do I have an equine science degree, I mean, I've worked with horses professionally for years, but I also had sponsorship, and I was all set up to really go for it. And 3 years into the training, Vesper gets injured, and it's devastating.
Yeah.
It's a devastating occurrence, and to a point where I actually stopped riding. I had, at that point, I had 3 horses, and I just stopped riding. I couldn't continue. And then I did all kinds of other things to try and fill that void of the freedom that the riding or that kind of level of, I guess, performance would have, the freedom that it was giving me I try to look for that freedom in other things like work and whatever.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, like what are my goals now? Because obviously back then I had really big goals, and now I don't have that. My goal has changed from a quantifiable goal into a more quality-based goal, which is to get back into dancing. I don't care at what level, but really, like initially, but really go and enjoy it because of the sense of the freedom, not because of the Olympic gold or being on the podium or whatever. Or even to get to the Olympics, because that in and of itself is a massive undertaking.
And it takes years to really get to
absolutely,
and some luck as well. So it's not. It's good to have really high goals, but also attainable ones that you can reach.
Yeah, and looking back, you know, okay, the London game. Like if I'd known then what I know now, and if I'd done my if I had the awareness of inner parenting to the degree that I do now, I would have just adjusted the goals. I wouldn't have stopped doing everything.
Yeah. Can you say why you sort of made that kind of an extreme decision? Or was it just that overwhelming?
I was devastated, and I didn't know how to get out of that feeling of devastation.
Yeah.
And those of you who know me, and if you know about inner parenting, you know I'm an INFJ, which means that my 10-year-old inner child is accuracy, which is introverted thinking, and she couldn't see anything beyond the black and white, it's this or it's nothing approach. So that is something that, you know, was a big change, or has been a big change for me, that she's no longer making those decisions. And hence the meaning of equestrian sports to me is freedom. It's not this or that or whatever. And I think back, competing or performing or any of the big shows or the big successes or anything, that had nothing to do with competing.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. So it's more about the things you do with the horses.
Just a connection, like on a micro level. Because you can have a connection on a macro level, so you're zooming out and you have a good connection generally with your horse, which is nice. But the success comes, and this is through any disciplines, equestrian sports, business, whatever you want to do in your life, is to find the micro freedom. And not believe that it comes outside of yourself.
Yeah, and finding it in your everyday life.
That's right.
Able to really do what you want to do and express yourself and feel what you want to do. That's actually pretty rare, having people wanting those smaller goals instead of the high reachable.
Well, this is the difference between now and 2010, 2011. I think it was 11 or 12. 11. No, it wasn't. No, it was way back. But anyway, before 2010, when Vesper got injured, I think it was 2009 she got injured.
Yeah.
That's the difference between 2009 and 2018.
Yeah.
Like 9 years later.
Yeah.
and bucket loads of inner parenting. I mean.
Yeah, so it's kind of that inner growth as well. But so yeah, you said that kind of getting back to dancing, no matter what level it is.
Yeah.
But it's sort of maybe good to have a quantifiable goal as well, so you kind of know when you've reached it.
Yeah.
And you need to sort of, or if you haven't reached it, to sort of know what you need to do to reach it.
Yeah.
So have you thought about anything?
Yeah. So initially I was thinking, because we talked about before this session, that that I've looked at the goals, because you sent me a questionnaire beforehand. This is before Christmas, I think you sent this to me, or just in the new turn of the new year, something like that. So I've had several weeks to kind of go over it. And, like how I operate is I don't just sit down and go for it fully, whatever. What I do is I read it, let it sink, read it again, think something through it again and then talk about it or write about it. So I have this kind of system of going through it a couple of times, allowing that time for that incubation and percolation. Anything that needs to come up can come up. And so I thought about this quantifiable goal, and then the initial thing that I thought about was I want to get to, I think it was intro or I can't remember, one of the lower levels, or 1 star or something like that, get back to that. But I thought about it since and delved into it, and I don't know if either one of the horses that I currently have are able to get to that level, because they're both rescue animals that I have here. One of them is 27, and she has certain joint considerations that I just need to, old injuries and calcification of joints. Anyway, that's another day's workshop. And Missy, who is a wild card because she wasn't even rideable when I got her, and she has some physiological defects, so that may stop her from getting to that level. So here's what I then adjusted it to. So instead of going back what I did back in 2009, which would have been I can't do anything now, I went like, okay, well, let's adjust the goal. How about I say that I register with Equestrian Australia, which I've done.
Yeah.
I will start to look into what the events are, for eventing, for dressage, show jumping separately. Yeah. So all those different aspects of my sport, and actually have 5 to 6 outings this year to go and do whatever I'm going to go and do. And how the eventing is run, if it's on Monday or over 2 days, as here usually is on over 2 days, which is dressage and show jumping on day 1 and then cross country on day 2, or something along those lines. I might go with these horses to an event, I might take them there, I might book the whole event, but then if I feel like after dressage, Red, who's 27, has had enough, then I'll retire her at that, so I still will have gone and done the outing and the dressage, I might do the show jumping with her, I don't know, I'll just play it by the ear, and then the same with Missy, so that there's no pressure. I mean, I was always known for this, I was very well known for going to an event and not finishing if it wasn't the right thing for the horse. Like that was always, I never pushed the horse beyond what I believed was right for the horse. Yeah. Not that I didn't finish, I mean, this could be that sometimes the ground was too hard or that it was too wet or whatever. You can do things for those, you can go slower, you can, put padding in their hoof, you can have softer shoes, whatever, blah, blah, you can do those things. But if it was impossible, like one event we turned up and they had put, because the footing in front of the fences was not, was kind of worn, there was no grass in front of the cross-country fences, and but there was also no sand, so it was just hard, and they had put like bits of rubble.
Oh. So you don't want to jump.
I'm not going to do that to my horses. Yeah. So other people were talking about it, and they were like, "No, I'm still gonna jump, and I'm just gonna jump at a different place and blah blah all this kind of stuff." And I'm like, one competition out of like 10 or whatever, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Really. So I did the dressage and I did the show jumping, and then just headed home.
Yeah.
So I don't know if 1 star level by the end of this year is actually. I don't want to put that pressure on the horses, but what I do want to do is to get 5 or 6 outings where I do something with 1 or 2 horses. I don't really mind, just so that I get back into the
rhythm,
swing of things.
Yeah, like how does it work and what feelings, emotions I go through
exactly
competition. So
because there's the reason why I asked for your help is because there is underlying pain that I'm still experiencing from this disappointment for when Vesper got injured, and obviously the most important thing was the horse.
Yeah.
that she's okay, but she's okay. So therefore, I have the space to work through this other stuff now.
Yeah, that's good. And sort of, it's easier if you don't have too high goals and then find it hard to sort of not attain them. And you can actually think about the horses and how they feel and what they're doing and what the day is like if it's not good for them.
Yes.
Kind of like having both of your goals being in connection with the horses, but also getting those outings and getting the experience. So
Exactly.
What
What was interesting yesterday was because I'm doing everything gradually. I'm putting the horses into the box without necessarily taking them anywhere, just to get them kind of thinking in towards the box and thinking that it's okay. And then I take them somewhere, but I don't do much and blah blah and stuff.
Yeah.
Yesterday was our first outing. The three of us, like the two horses and myself, my friend Belinda came to give me a hand just in case I wasn't able to load the horses at the other end, because sometimes when they're triggered enough, everything goes out the window and they're just, so I'm, wanted to take a friend with me to make sure that if I got into trouble, what would it look like? But actually the horses were perfect. We went to this place where we'd never been before, up the road from here. And they were fine, and I was able to do everything on my own. So now I actually have that option. So I'm, understanding that doing 5 to 6 outings means that there's also all of these other things that I need to do.
Yeah, in order to get there.
That are like sub goals, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
what would those sub goals be then?
Well,
if the 5 to 6 outings is sort of your main goal.
Yeah. Fitness.
Yeah.
For horse and rider. I think those are two separate sub goals. Sorry, I'm nose itchy. I think it's this licorice tea that I'm drinking. I'm now making the connection that in fact this has happened before.
Alright.
Should stick to coffee. Don't do the horrible stuff, it's dangerous. I'm kidding.
No, I'm doing fine.
Yeah. There you go. So fitness for both horses and riders, and this is psycho-emotional physical fitness, so like that one. Then the practicalities, which is the travel and the relationship in those situations that are outside of the home environment, like anything that's different.
Yeah, and horses are highly associative animals. So basically you teach them a thing in one spot. You have to teach it kind of from the beginning at 4 different spots before they can actually generalize
it. The general idea, exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people get really upset with their horses because they think the horses already know something that they taught them once, and it's like, can you just give the horse a chance to get what you're trying to say?
Yeah, but I think you've got the idea of sort of, that they can do it, but also making it easier for them in a new environment.
Exactly.
But also give yourself that sort of benefit of the doubt. So if it's a new environment for you, don't expect to be at your top level.
Precisely. Yeah. But they were so good. They were so actually not disconnected from us at all, and they weren't spooky. It was really windy. It was before these rains, so it's been raining a lot in the last 24 hours. It's actually less than 24 hours ago, because it's like 12 noon about now, and we came back from there about 3 p.m. last night, or yesterday, before all the rain started. But it was all really windy, which horses find extremely difficult to reconcile when they don't have good leadership. And then on the other hand, we went through up and down these steps, and just a couple of things like fences they'd never seen before, like jumps they'd never seen before. Just they were good. They were good as gold. I've never had such an easy experience. First experience with horses, so that must mean that there is a connection on a level that is quite profound, which is really nice and reassuring.
Yeah, so it makes it easier, because if you are consistent with horses, then it makes both of your lives easier.
Absolutely. So for me, the sub goals are horse and rider, 2 separate, like fitness or emotional, psychological physiological fitness, dealing with new situations, so basically desensitization.
Yeah.
And then sport-specific training.
All right. So these, I think, could actually be easily quantifiable. These sub-goals, which might be easier for us to sort of work with than just that. Okay, the 5 to 6 goals, 5 to 6 outings is a good goal, and I think
a general goal.
Yeah, it's a good reachable goal. But what you might want to do is like get a calendar and look at that. When do you want to do them?
Yeah, I need to get I'm going to take some notes here. I need to get the event schedules.
Yeah.
And that's all. I literally yesterday joined this Equestrian Australia. So.
Yeah, and give yourself some flexibility with it so that you've got, say, even 10 different outings that you could go to, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
Or ones that are possible for you.
Yeah.
Because life happens always.
There's
always something that sort of comes along and, oh, well, the horses aren't really good today. So, or we had a family thing that we need to do or whatever. So kind of give yourself that flexibility and just see what dates would be good and that they're not too close to each other. And because you need to give the horses a breather in between, and yourself as well. And
I'm thinking I'm just going to start with some dressage outings with Red and just kind of, because just simple, very simple intro whatever programs.
Yeah, and sort of you might want to also think about the goals for those specific outings once you decide which outings you're going to do, so that you know, okay, this is what I want from this outing. If it's just the experience, that's all good. Yeah, because that's a good goal. Just to get out there and see how the horse reacts to how you react to. Yeah. And especially if there's something that sort of comes up and you're like panicking or kind of going like, oh, I don't want to do this, or something feels wrong, because then we can talk about it here.
Exactly.
And go through like, oh, what was it? And what we need to sort of get there.
Initially, though, something that I do need to do is to actually go and, because I don't have an arena at home currently, I do need to, and there is an arena that I can go whenever, or pretty much whenever.
Basically.
So I need to start doing that so that I can start to actually do the dressage movements, and we're talking about like circles and serpentines and diagonals. We're not talking about like a
but it's also basically you can do it on the field there, but you need to be like very specific,
precise,
and precise, exactly. That sort of, even if it's really low level dressage, you can still be really precise and be very like, this is where it's happening. It's not 5 meters from here. It's right here. And sort of getting yourself into the mindset. When do I need to do it? And just like, oh, I'll just do a circle there. And sort of getting that.
Actually, I need to get those letter markers. Because I can just practice, at Robos, because they have really
just get a bucket,
smooth surface.
Letter on it. Like an A4 letter. Put it on. That works.
I want to put something that sticks into the ground so it doesn't get destroyed. I have such confidence in my horses. Look after my. Oh, bucket! Oh, what's underneath it? Cool.
All right. So, I think those would be kind of like starting to think about, okay, what could those 5 to 6 outings be? And where to do them, and so that it's actually possible for you to get there. Like travel-wise as well. So that if you need help, you've got somebody to help you. Stuff like that. It's always easier if you've got a showroom.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just so used to I'm so used to traveling on my own with 2 horses like before when I was really training. And it's, but you're right. It's
because then there's somebody to hold your horse when you're walking the course. Or whatever.
You don't have to put them in the box.
and that kind of stuff. We've got about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we both get what we need. So yeah, then I would probably like you to think about, not necessarily now, we can discuss this now as well, but sort of to break it down and really go through it. As you said, you like to process it quite well. So what would those sub-goals be? Quantify them.
Yeah.
So if there's a horse fitness, rider fitness, what does it mean?
Yeah.
So the horse fitness, is it that you do certain amount of gallops or like collecting them a week, or how many times a week you ride them, how many like stuff like that, and what like connection wise what you want to do with them, and well, yourself as well. Well, this is one part of that psychological fitness. So we agreed to do this about fortnightly. For the first 5 at least, and then we'll see how it goes. And how much more support you need, or if we need to keep them fortnightly, or maybe a bit longer gaps between the sessions. But and the desensitization, what did you sort of think about that?
Predominantly, like initially just going out with the horses.
Right. But basically, if you're going to go to the arena, that's already one thing where you're doing it. And just, well, if you've got friends who you can go and ride with somewhere else, or go to the beach. Whatever.
There's loads of those different options.
And there's quite a lot of cool stuff around here.
There is, there is. Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any other sub goals? Horse fitness, rider fitness, the practicalities of the travel. So what would you have to think about that? Sort of having the horse box and what you need, and
well, that's all done. So I'm all set up that way. I think a big thing for me is gonna be allowing myself the time to do it, as in to like the physiological time to book it in the diary. I mean, it is in the diary, it is important to me, but then I might feel like, oh, I'd rather do this with Peter, or, with my partner, or I might think that, I don't feel exactly right, or there's some resistance into doing it that might be like a fear-based. That there's almost like an accountability that I'm gonna do it. And that it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially working with horses, but in any sport. Because you might have goals for, like, usually what we do is having that major goal, that is, that for you used to be the Olympics, for example. But then you have to break it down to also, okay, well, the Olympics are 4 years from now. What am I going to do in that 4 years? It's, well, not very this situation, but sort of so that you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So you need to think about, okay, what do I need to do in those 4 years? What would be like yearly goals? And then, okay, what does that mean that I need to be doing in 6 months that I know that I'm on the right track? Okay, well, 6 months. Well, what about 1 month from now? How do I know that I'm doing all the stuff that I need to do? Also, then weekly, how many times a week do I need to do stuff and exercise and do anything? Basically, because the thing about riding is that you sort of have to do the horse stuff, but then you also have to exercise. Like, because that can't be the only exercise if you really want to be balanced. And sort of having that life around the whole thing and fixing because you're doing business as well, and like having family time and everything like that. So you want to sort of give yourself enough time to do all that, but also be taking steps towards reaching your goals.
The bigger picture.
So it also means that you need to think about, what do I need to do? Well, okay, weekly. So I'll exercise them say 5 times a week. Okay, what does that mean? Will I just lunch them one time, just have a nice walk with them one time, and then go to the arena maybe 2 times a week, and sort of that, so that you actually think about it, and knowing your busy life,
well, this is the thing.
Yeah, actually putting it, like physically putting it down into the calendar, so that you actually do it.
Yeah.
And you have the time
exactly
for it.
Because this is currently I have 4 times a week.
Yeah.
That it's in the diary that I do something with them, as in, you know, one of them is usually about an hour and a half walk just up and down the road, just do some, you know, fitness stuff that way. And then usually I have, you know, the other 3 days are we're doing this like a lot of work, online work, which means that from the ground, like ground work, and just like this, it's almost like Pilates for horses.
Yeah.
And then you know, then some riding, but the riding times have been very short to date, so I'm only riding about half an hour.
But that doesn't really matter, because as long as it's sort of quality before quantity.
Yeah.
So
well,
exactly. If you do 20 minutes of good work, having good collection, and because think about it, a dressage test takes about 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't really. It's different when you start the cross country and stuff like that, because they need to be able to do that. But sort of take it slowly and build up their fitness and get to that point.
And to see if these horses can get to that point too.
Yeah.
Because
if not, then you have to sort of work around that. So thinking about like, well, should I get another horse or drop my goals a bit, or what do I need to do? But it's good that you already a bit sort of have that in mind and you're realistic about it.
Yeah.
So it's really good. But those kind of things. And later on, I don't know how much like mental training you've done, or like mental imaging, visualization, mindfulness, probably quite a lot.
What's really interesting in terms of equestrian sports, what's really interesting is that since I started visualizing, since walking courses, so if I'm walking a cross-country course or a show jumping course, since I started to use the visualization in jumping a clear round, I have not had a non-clear round in my whole like years.
Yeah.
This is years we're talking about.
That's really because it's such a strong tool that you have that you can actually like go through it. But of course you want to go through it like this is the way that I want it to go, but also have that room for the flexibility of, okay, if I don't get 5 steps here, it's 4. How do I have to attune the next obstacle and sort of have to work around it and be ready to be flexible, that you're not just, this is the way I want to do it, this is the way it's going to go.
No, I can't do that. Micromanagement doesn't work with animals or children, as it turns out.
But it's pretty much like, as long as you know what you want, and also sort of take into consideration the problems that you might encounter. And this is like riding, but also anything you do in life. Just it's not about being pessimistic or thinking about the problems, because that's not what you want to visualize. You don't want to visualize the problems. But if there is a problem, so that you're prepared to deal with it.
Do what needs to be done in order to have the result that you actually want.
Exactly.
It's
not always easy. But we'll get to that on the later sessions as well.
So what I'm thinking then is that I need to almost like map my equestrian side of things, so that I'm super clear on what I'm going to be doing.
Because that makes it easier for you to check that you reach those goals. And so think about it, okay, what does it mean that if like by the end of this year you want to have those 5-6 hours? Okay, what does it mean? Which point should you go for the first one? So that you actually have time to do it all.
I'm thinking it'll probably be about May. So May, if I even do one a month, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that's like
8
8
months
options,
Yeah.
which, you know,
Yeah.
would be good.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing to say that I can't do a month in some month if there just happens to be the perfect kind of events have lined up where it's right there up the road and I can just go there and it takes me half an hour to get there as opposed to 4-hour drive one way.
Yeah, and sort of see, like, also not just that the event itself is good, but like, okay, I've never been there, so I want to get that experience for myself and the horses, and to see what it's like to do it again in a place that neither one of you have ever been to.
And of course there is one place that I always go every year with the horses, which is Machi Field Days, because I'm doing a horse and rider psychology demonstration and you know, so transformation of cellular memory and that type of thing. So that's kind of been there. That is one event I will go to, and I won't be competing, but I feel like it, as a team, it will be one of those outings, because I'm still performing, I still have to do certain things to show the audience.
And it's a bit different.
It is, so it's a different kind of show.
Yeah. But it's just 5 to 6 outings. You haven't said that it has to be this kind
eventing or exactly.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, cool. I think this is quite a lot for the first time.
Yes, I think it's enough.
Yeah. So maybe like in the future we'll go a bit further into like going through the injury that Vesper had and how it affected you at that point, how it's affected. Well, if it's 9 years, it's quite a long time. So what that has what's been going on during these 9 years, how does it affect you at the moment? How do you think it will affect you in the future, and how we can sort of get it to be a bit easier and get to a better place with that.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your help today. This has been great, and this gives me a point of reference so we'll continue in 2 weeks, right? So basically, thank you. And for the benefit of the listeners, if you felt that this was a helpful session for you, please let me know, because I'm not interested I don't need to hear myself talk, and I don't need to put stuff out there. But if this has been helpful for you, please comment on this, or start conversations around this video. And this is because this is my personal success journey. So Introvert Success Initiative. This is my personal success initiative journey that I'm taking. So it would be great if you were a part of this, or if some part of this inspired you to take some personal action for yourself as well. So if you feel that this is not useful, please tell us, because as I said, I don't want to go through the rigmarole of taping everything. We're going to do this work. I'm going to get a lot of benefit out of it, I know already. And if you want to be a part of it, I'm happy to do that.
And if there's any comments, questions, I'm happy to answer them as well. So I'd be really glad to hear what other people think, and if there's something like, wait, would this work for me, or maybe? Or
perfect.
Like
and you're a member of the Introvert Success Initiative closed group. So so I'm going to tag Kiia into this video when I'm posting it, so that we can then, you can find her from there as well. And if you have any, just feel free to ask questions, absolutely, of either one of us. Thanks everyone. It's been great being with you, and hopefully this was helpful. See you soon.